Hello everybody, it's me Heather, and I wanted to share with you a quick review and very small demo of the new NARSissist Dual Intensity eyeshadow palette. So this released on January 1st of this year. It retails for $79. It has 8 eyeshadows, one of which is exclusive to the palette, and I did just check the NARS website, and it looks like it's already sold out, but fear not, it's going to re-release again. And sorry, since this is a mirrored palette, there's going to be a lot of reflection here, so hopefully I'm not blinding you guys. But it is sold out on the NARS website for now, but it will return February 1st, and you'll be able to pick it up at Sephora and all the other online retailers, as well as stores that carry NARS. So let me show you this really quick. Sorry if I blind you guys. So this is the NARSissist palette. It is mirrored. A lot of people are complaining that this captures fingerprints like crazy. I'm so tired of hearing people say that. I think that's kind of goofy thing to be complaining about, because it's the way it is. You got moisture on your fingertips naturally. That's how we make fingerprints, you know. That's how we have our fingerprint technology, thanks to these little biological processes that our bodies create. And certain objects that we touch capture that. So it's a silly thing to complain about. But yes, of course, this does capture fingerprints. If you put your fingers on mirrored surfaces, it's going to leave a fingerprint. Moving on. So inside you do have a mirror, which is always great. And I've played with some of the shadows already. I couldn't wait. Sorry, guys. But here are the shadows that come in here. And I will block the mirror so I don't blind you guys throughout the entire video. There we go. That'll be better. But yeah, highly reflective. Sorry, I've got a really bright light going on now. But I'll do really quick swatches, just super quick. I'm only going to do them on my fingers. I'm not going to put them on the back of my hand, because these have been around for a cool minute. So there are way better, more thorough swatch videos out there of all these shades, except for Ursa Major, this brown one here that has kind of a cool, it's kind of a cool leaning brown. It's exclusive to this palette, so let me just swatch these really quick. So there you go. I'll bring them out to my face here, so maybe you can see that a little better. Let me do the other row really quick. So as is typical of the dual intensity eyeshadows from NARS, these are of excellent pigmentation. I have one individual one, a shade that I'm happy to say is not featured in the palette, so I'm happy that I have this one individually, because it sucks whenever you buy palettes and you already have a lot of the other shades. Here is a normal size dual intensity eyeshadow for, whoops, my little dust cover fell out. Here's a normal size dual intensity eyeshadow. As you can see, it's been well used. I've used it wet and dry. That's why they're called dual intensity, wet and dry. This is in the shade Desdemona. So a full size dual intensity eyeshadow from NARS has 0.05 ounces or 1.5 grams of eyeshadow. So it's a pretty nice helping of eyeshadow right there. And the dual intensity palette, let's see, let me cheat off the palette here. This has 1 gram of eyeshadow. For each pan, it's 1 gram each. So 1 gram of eyeshadow, as well as this is 0.05. This is 0.03 ounces, 1.5 grams, 1 gram. So you're getting a pretty good amount of product here. These are not too much smaller than this little fella here. And they can be used wet and dry, and that's my favorite way to use them. When I wear them, I like to wear them wet and dry at the same time, and that's what I'm going to demonstrate for you guys today. So let me put this little fellow away really quick so I got a little bit more room to work here. Oh, I forgot to tell you, so it does come with this eyeshadow brush. And I'm happy to say that I have the full-size brush. This retails, I believe, for $28, I believe. It's pretty pricey, almost a $30 eyeshadow brush. Totally worth the investment. This has very nice, I want to say packing. It's not too tightly packed, so it's not ultra stiff, but it's not super flimsy. It's right in between. It's medium packed. is what I want to say. Has really soft fibers. I'm unsure if these are synthetic or natural hairs. I'm guessing synthetic. I'm honestly not sure. I need to check on that. Didn't even think about it till now. But this is excellent for applying eyeshadows wet and dry. So I'm really happy that they actually included a miniature version of the same brush in the palette. And I'm also happy to say that the quality is the same as the full-size brush. It has that, you know, it's in between. It's not too soft. It's not too hard. So it's got like a lot, it's kind of thick. It's nice. And again, it's great for applying these eyeshadows wet as well as dry. So my advice for whenever you're applying any of these eyeshadows wet, make sure that you pick a side that is always going to be your wet side, and pick a side that will always be your dry side. Although these actually have a formulation where if you do actually get the whole pan wet, it will dry down and go back to normal again. A lot of times with eyeshadows that claim to have a wet-dry formula, a lot of times when you get those eyeshadows wet, once they dry, they're never the same again. They never have quite the same consistency. Sometimes it literally kind of ruins the eyeshadow to be worn as a regular dry. You always have to wet it again after that. Not the case with the NARS Dual Intensity eyeshadows, but I still prefer to pick one side for dry, one side for wet, and keep it that way. But if you're not as careful or as picky as I am, you can actually get the whole pan wet. It will dry down. It will go back to normal. You can always use these dry again. You don't have to get them wet every time. But let me show you how I like to use them wet and dry together. And honestly, with these kind of palettes, or excuse me, with these particular eyeshadows from this brand, I prefer to wear them as just one color on the lid and the same color dry in the crease and blend it upward a little. But of course, you're welcome to wear multiple colors together on your eyes and create an eye look. But something, just the way these are, they're so beautiful on their own. I prefer to just pick one shade and let that be my look for the day. So I'm going to play with Ursa Major here, since this one is exclusive to the palette and I haven't played with it yet other than swatching it for you guys just now. So what I like to do is, first off, again, I'm really happy that they included a miniature version of the wet dry brush, because this brush is excellent for using wet as well as dry with these eyeshadows. And then you want to get the brush wet is how I first like to do it. You can use water. You can literally go to your kitchen or bathroom sink if you have a kitchen or bathroom sink. I'm hoping you do. And you can just run the tap really gently and place this under there, get it wet, just shake it off a little. You can take a tissue after, I got a tissue here somewhere. You can take a tissue after that and just kind of blot it a little. And then your brush is wet enough to use the eyeshadows wet. But what I honestly prefer to do is I like to use Fix Plus from MAC. Excuse me, I was going to say from Matte. Fix Plus from Matte. It's a spray toner. So you can use this for a lot of different things. I love using Fix Plus when I want to wear an eyeshadow wet. But you can also try using some setting sprays is another way you can do it. You can have also just a bottle full of water and use that. So just some ideas for how to get your brush wet. So the way I like to do this is I stick it right up to the little nozzle here and I spray it once, I flip it over, I spray it one more time, then I flip it again, I spray it one more time. Then I like to shake it off because I don't mind making a mess in my home. But you don't have to do that. And then I do like to take a tissue and just blot it on there to make sure it's not too wet. Alright, so now in my palette, I've decided that the left sides of the shadows will always be the wet side and the dry side will be the right side. So then you just take your brush and I just dig it in there. You can swipe it down, you can dig it in up and down. I have a tendency to dig it up and down to just really saturate the brush, but it picks up the product really well. And then I'm just going to apply it on my lids. Although this is essentially just a brown shadow, it's a really cool leaning brown shadow. Like, you'll have to see it in person to really know what I mean. I really feel like this shade's actually kind of unique to my collection. I don't really feel like I have one quite like this. It's really nice. Okay, so I'm going to use the same brush. I'm just going to take a tissue, napkin, paper towel, whatever, and I'm really going to dry it off on here. Just wipe it back and forth. I'm going to squeeze the brush, try to get out as much excess moisture as I can. Just swipe it back and forth. And then what I like to do is I like to go back into the same color, and I'm going to pick what I call the dry side of the shadow. And I'm just going to pick up some color, and I'm going to place that in my crease, and I'm going to blend it upward a little. And that's it. So I can apply some eyeliner and then some mascara, and then I'll be really done. But I'm going to go ahead and just do that off camera and, you know, save that for later because I know you guys are busy and you got things to do. And also it is time for me to feed my doggies. So I don't want to keep them waiting much longer with me putting on eyeliner and mascara. So you guys can already imagine. But I love how I love these eyeshadows. I love that they came out with this palette. I highly recommend it. If you've been wanting to check out these eyeshadows and you didn't want to spend $30, because these are, I believe, $28 or $29 for one, I don't blame you. It's expensive, but they are so fantastic. I'm glad I picked up the one that I have in Desdemona. It's a great shade, not featured in this palette. I do like the selection of colors that they chose for the palette. These will be great for, you know, the black here is great for creating, you know, your traditional smoky eye. I love the metallic ones. Even these really light shades, I've worn them recently. I wore this recently in one video and people were like, ooh, what are you wearing? Just, these are amazing. I love the look that you can create just by wearing it wet on the lid and then dry in the crease and blending up. Just, I highly recommend these. Like I said, the price is not the cheapest. It is $79, but you get a good fair amount of product. These will last you forever, as most eyeshadows do. Like I said, 1.5 grams of product normally runs for almost $30. And then here you have 1 gram of each eyeshadow. And that, like I said, obviously it's not going to be $30, but if you think of it as 30 times 8, that's 240. So honestly, it's almost $200 worth of eyeshadow here for $79. So definitely worth checking out. I highly recommend it. I love it. I hope you guys enjoyed this little demo. Sorry if I've been blinding you with the lights. It is nighttime, so also I apologize for the annoying shadow. There's nothing I can do about that since I don't have any daylight or other light to get rid of that, but it's okay. It's all good. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any questions or comments about the NARS Dual Intensity eyeshadows. I love it when you guys interact with me. You guys have been leaving a lot of great comments and questions and, you know, just commentary basically lately. And I've really been enjoying reading your comments and responding to you guys. Really been feeling connected to you, as connected as we can feel through social media. I'm really enjoying that. Thank you guys so much. You've been so supportive and just really bringing, you know, a smile to my face, filling my heart with joy. You know, don't worry, I'm not going to weep. I may weep in a future video, but it won't be today. And, oh, I wanted to give you guys a heads up, too, that I've seen on Instagram recently that NARS, if you like the dual intensity eyeshadows, they are coming out with dual intensity blushes later this year. And I'm sure you can tell by my makeup today, I've really been on a shimmer kick. I've been really loving the whole metallic, the really shimmery skin look, even though I've been battling some zits that don't want to go away, and I really shouldn't be putting shimmer on top of them because it makes them really 3D, but whatever. I'm all about breaking rules of makeup. But dual intensity blushes, they're going to be these blush palettes that have 2 shades of blush in them, and they're the dual intensity formula. So they're going to be super duper shimmery. Not everybody's going to like that, but some of the color selections I've seen, I've been really, I cannot wait till they come out. I don't know what the release date is on them yet, but if anybody knows anything about these or has any pics they want to share, please let me know. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, especially Instagram. I'm very active there. At Heathering King is my Instagram, as well as my Twitter, as well as my Tumblr. So I recently deleted my Facebook because I hate Facebook. So it's not going to be a good place to connect with me anymore. I need to update all my description bars that have a Facebook address, since that's no longer a viable address to contact me at. Sorry about that for those of you who love Facebook. I don't. And yeah, so I think that's it. If you're not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe. That way, next time I make a video, I'll pop up in your subscription feed. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.